Well, I want to thank you for raising that question. It's a question that I've actually engaged some of my brothers and sisters in the opposition. By the way, between when the GNU was in place, I was one of the people who was advising the government when they created the Organ for National Healing on issues of reconciliation. And I did host the late Morgan Shangirai in my place when he came to the United States. But anyway, to speak directly to your question, point number one in our 10-point plan, and you know, in fact, this also addresses what the other gentleman was saying. Not every opposition party has not put out what it stands for. We have put out our manifesto, and we have talked about our 10-point plan. And one of the very first point in our 10-point plan is that we will radically cut non-productive government spending. We will no longer have a government of 31 ministers and deputy ministers who do nothing. What Zimbabwe needs is a lean, mean fighting machine. And we've committed ourselves to have only 15 ministers, no deputy ministers. Eliminate all the deputy minister positions and make sure that we just have one vice president. That's the responsible thing to do. When you talk about the legislature, you know, I've engaged some of my friends in the opposition, and I've wondered, and I even voiced this during the GNU, why is it that we are expanding the size of the legislature to where it is today? And I remember saying to some of them, look, this is going to come back to haunt us because we can't afford it. The fact is, over 90% of the budget of the government goes towards paying salaries and some of these people really who do nothing. Yeah. If you ask yourself, you know, and this is one of the things which has really puzzled me, even the position of provincial affairs minister, governors, how do you even really determine what their performance has been? If you look at the economies of the provinces, has there been any improvement during the tenure of any of the governors who have been there? Has there been? Have industries been resuscitated? So, and now, so you ask and you say, yeah, you ask and you say, what are you going to do for the youth? Look, guys, there is no great economy which is built on youth programs, women programs, all people's programs. No. Everybody needs a functioning, working economy, all of us. If the economy is not working, then you can't even sustain the youth programs because the youth programs really need, for instance, before independence, we had all these. All right, let me just finish. I will. Give me 30 seconds.
10 seconds.
All right, 10 seconds. All right, so before independence, we had all those apprenticeship programs which were providing training opportunities for young people. They were not there because government had set up a program. They were there because we had a functioning economy.
Thank you. Before we continue, I just wanted to just say something. Let's avoid insulting each other. Let's just discuss my issues and it in my facts because we want to be able to do this again and invite, you know, the different political parties and not have them now saying they want to attend because one of our parties will do that. So please, pardon?
You allow people to insult each other.
But that's not what I was doing. So
you should have been first calling to order when you started making slaves. You didn't. And I have no business gracing an occasion where people make fools out of themselves.
okay, so
with all due respect, I'm not the person who spoke about thunder. It's in the newspaper. No, violence. I simply stated something that is in the public domain. Something that is in newspaper.
Can we continue now?
It's something that is in
Can
newspaper.
we continue now? I apologize if you felt that you were okay, so can you move on? And I apologize if you feel that way. So, but can you please, before you can you respect each other? Jealousy,
No, I won't apologize for something that is
I'm sorry. vanotaura zvakanyanya navamutsvangwa. Nyaya iri panapa vamutsvangwa yandaona yamataura mati kuti tibvise hurumende iripo tofana kuenda kuRomania. Asi munozviziva here nekuzvinzwisa kuti hondo yandiri kurwa muzuva ranhasi yakanyanya. Hondo yekurwa ndakazora ndipisiri ndakapfeka gogo. Ndakabereka mwana kumusana ndichifamba ndakatsinga mvura mukati medhorobha reHarare. Ihondo sviku yavakatitadzirira imi neZANU-PF. Maita basa.
Atiri kuva involved kuzvinhu zviri kunetsana vanhu vakanesana ka vane hondo dzava dzavakaparana patirimo. Saka isu tiri kuti seopposition ngatikambirei Zimbabwe yose takasunungurwa naMnangagwa wakanipenda. Mukatovarayidzika.
Thank you.
The promises that we are making, that we've been making for 38 years, and in the new dispensation for the past maybe 6 months, what stops you from implementing those things? Because I saw a billboard today saying promising healthcare and stuff, but you guys are already in power. Why don't we implement it? And right now, if I want cash, I still have to go and buy it in the streets. It has been so for the past 6 months since the new dispensation. And secondly, to Linda, I think the MDC constitution is very clear about who and should attend a congress. Yes. And it mentions like the executives at what level, or provincial chairpersons, or MPs, mayors, and so forth. Who was there at your congress to legitimize it as an MDC congress? Or it was just a gathering of random people? For instance, I can just say I'm going to hold an MDC congress in this room. Thank you. Thank you.
Just last question for this round.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Right, and I'm standing here right now. I just arrived this morning from South Africa where I reside. My question is directed to all of these people seated in the front. Why are they making it so difficult for us Zimbabweans living in the diaspora to vote? Particularly the MDC alliance. It has been all about rhetoric about the issue of diaspora vote, more than what the ruling party is even doing in advocating for it. Why? When we thought that those are the voice of the people. Number two, my question is also directed to the representatives of the alliance or the MDC alliance. They've been speaking about women empowerment for so many years, but we are seated here right now witnessing gross women rights abuse politically. What is it that we are going to believe or see, or rather even trust them that when they get into power, they will empower women when they are busy thwarting every progressive women in their part?
Okay, thank you.
My last question.
There's so many people.
My last question. No, you don't get it.
Thank you, Violet. Colleagues, I just want to appeal to us to remain focused on the purpose of engagements like this. Rabble-rousing, insulting each other doesn't offer solutions to the problems that the millions of Zimbabweans who are suffering are confronting. And I appeal particularly to those of us on this side of the room. We were invited here as leaders in order to show leadership. I hope we are able to do that.
Thank you very much for that. MWONZORA, can you respond to the question here, the women empowerment and the diaspora vote?
Thank you very much. In the NERA document, in fact, we started it as the without reform, no elections document, the document commonly known as the REN document. In that document, we made it clear that diaspora vote is a priority. And when we were doing this constitution, and I was part of the drafting of the clause that deals with the diaspora vote, we simply put it as follows. Every Zimbabwean has the right to vote, full stop. Nothing to add there. We didn't say every Zimbabwean in Cholocho, every Zimbabwean what has the right to vote. We said every Zimbabwean has the right to vote, including Zimbabweans in the diaspora. We even went on to suggest to government draft legislation on how that is possible. We commissioned a study on how to make diaspora vote safe. And we have it. The fact that the government is not responsive to that cannot be blamed on us. We have engaged Zimbabweans in the diaspora. We have been part to legal suits to make sure that there is diaspora vote in this country. The fact that we haven't succeeded... women empowerment because we don't have time. The first important thing is that it is critically important to respect the divergence of views. It is critically important to respect people who think differently and their right to think differently. And therefore, we condemn in the strongest terms any harassment on any person. As I said, it is not your gender that matters. It is not your gender that matters. It is not your size that matters. It is what you stand for. And I have tremendous respect for women because I stay with a woman who is better than me intellectually. I have daughters who have the right to think differently and they execute their thoughts as they wish and they do it well. One of them is here in the other part. So we are against violence and we want help from everyone and to identify the culprits and bring them to book. Women empowerment, it is there in our manifesto. We want our women to be empowered, especially those who are disadvantaged, who are in the rural areas, who bear the brunt of everything negative that happens in this country.
Can you answer the question about the Congress?
Thank you. My response to my brother is going to be very brief. In short, I can just say people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I can't be here to start a debate on constitutionalism and a whole lot of other issues. But what I can say to you is a Congress was held, a Congress elects leaders, and those who snapped it, tough luck for them. Thank you.
Healthcare, saying why not now?
Well, I've heard a question. Everybody knows that we have a palace state of affairs where a lot of the social indexes had become negative. What I'm glad of, including those who are jeering here, is that in November, when we called out all Zimbabweans, we as the war veterans, we called out all the Zimbabweans to come and demonstrate. I'm sure she's one of them. So we are the party which calls the shots. So we are also, that's why even from the panelists here, everybody is making reference to the government. Why the government can't do this? Why? Because it's given to them to understand that the government will be ZANU-PF. So we are determined to remain in government, and that's the game which we play. And when we are in government, after all the travails which we have gone, we are going to give you a world-class economy which Africa has never known. Let me finish. For those who don't want to believe, you can remain on the bystanders. But for those who are the electorate of Zimbabwe, who love a party which makes decisions and which changes the game, you follow us to prosperity. Those can be left ruminating about the past. We don't care about them. Thank you.
Sorry, can you let him respond, please? Order, please. Excuse me, sir. Please, let's not do this. Let's just put a because if you have to one way, someone can get it out as you pay. So we'll take 3 more questions and then they will answer. The gentleman here, the grey suit, and then and the lady right at the end on your right, and then we'll take one right at the end there. So we'll turn it around. You can't all do it at the same time.
My question is directed to Christopher. Why is it that ZANU-PF is doing the most difficult thing? I mean, refusing to do electoral forms. That's the most difficult thing. Rather than just do the honorable and dignified thing of just doing reforms, electoral forms.
Thank you.
And the last contribution is, it's a word of caution, probably to ED. Why it's a word of caution to the president. We do have Mr. Chris here, who is the advisor to the president. And with the arrogance that he's displaying here, it's okay. What I'm saying is, I don't think it's proper for Mr. Mnangagwa to say whatever he said in the manner that he said, especially to the Zimbabweans. As Zimbabweans, we have gone through very difficult times in terms of, cash shortages, scarcity of medication in hospitals, poor road networks and all that, and then he says what he said. Here. I don't think it's fair.
The lady right at the end there, and then we'll have the gentleman in the gray. Please, can you make your questions short?
I'm sorry, that's my woman in the street. Dzimari dziko mazuva idzi. Kana mari iri kunzi iri kuwanikwa nevamwe vanokumira nayo mustreet vaine loads and loads of $100 vanowana. Iwo mabhangi edu asiri kukwanisa kutipa mari iyoyo. Mari iyi vanhu havari kuiwana kupi. Patiri kushaiwa access isuwo yatoti ndarime vari street. Kuti vakanangana vamutambo.
Okay, thank you. My question will be very short and precise to what we are talking about here. So I request priority answering from those who are in government, maybe specifically now is Mr. Mnangagwa. Can you please tell us why we cannot have all parties talking in the taxpayer's television, all parties talking in the taxpayer newspaper? Why can't we have that simple thing? How can you get an investor outside Zimbabwe Why we cannot give that simple right to the vote?
All right, Mr. Chamba, I guess all those three questions were about reforms. Can you respond to that?
Everybody knows that we are operating under the 2013 Constitution. That Constitution, which has been held all over the world, was a product of mainly two ruling parties, MDC and ZANU-PF. And it was taken to the electorate for a referendum, and they approved it, the work which ZANU-PF had been central to. So ZANU-PF is actually the author of that Constitution. If you don't, and ZANU-PF had the majority of MPs in Parliament to approve that Constitution. Now, if you are going to put your head in the sand like an ostrich and refuse to accept that ZANU-PF is a part of reform in face of obvious realities on the ground, it's very sad. As we talk right now, a raft of bills are before Parliament on electoral reform. Zesni here can vouch for that. They know that the reforms are going to be presented to Parliament, of which the majority are ZANU-PF members. If you think that action is not an act of reform, then I don't know what where do you live? Because we are dealing here with people in Parliament making votes for a particular constitutional change and saying no or yes. That is what they call democracy. Your judgments here as individuals who have a gripe about ZANU-PF and you want to be angry about, you are free to that because this is a democracy. That's why ZANU-PF gave you that democracy. So I'm not offended when even you try to insult me over that, because that's part of the democratic process which we gave you. You can abuse it if you wish.
Okay, I'm glad to hear Mr. Chamba say he is not offended. It's the truth that people are expressing and the feelings that they're expressing. But, you know, sometimes when we talk about reforms, we also overlook the fact that we're trying to address a situation after the horse has already bolted the barn. Let's remember what happened at the beginning of the registration process. There was a limited number of registration centers which were issued. I actually went and sat for 8 hours in Bali to register. And the design, as far as I'm concerned, as a thinking person, is that there was a message that they wanted to send to the electorate about how difficult it was to actually register to vote. And then the blitz came. But by then, people had already convinced it's difficult to actually register to vote. In the meantime, ZANU-PF had an inside track on this. They were already registering their people, and as Mr. MWONZORA also described, they were targeted places where BVR kits were actually sent. So, in some ways, electoral reform now comes when ZANU-PF has already registered a massive number of people who support it. And that is not to say that we must not have electoral reform, because once we have electoral reform, obviously it will impact future elections. What we need to do now is to also convince some of those people who have registered as ZANU-PF supporters that it is time for change, that they must actually have the courage, that, you know what, there is absolute, even just as, and I'm also glad to hear what Mr. Chamba is saying, you know, claiming,
I'm a politician now.
I'm glad to hear Mr. Chamba talking about, you know, crediting themselves with removing Mugabe. Well, that's actually good then, that these guys are saying, yeah, you know, we also need to have the courage to start afresh without Mugabe. Well, the Zimbabwean people also need to have the courage to start afresh with other people who are presenting other ideas.
Doctor, before you come here, we haven't heard from Dr. Msewanzi. Do you have anything to add, especially on the issue of reforms?
Yes. What I'm saying is that there is one thing that possibly people here are not seeing. We might think that people out there are still ZANU-PF. They are not. We need to move away from the same traditional belief that the rule of vote is ZANU-PF. It's not. as PRC, we are mobilizing. We have people who, as ZANU-PF, think people are theirs. So for us, whilst we are fighting for reforms, we'll continue convincing the rural voter that ZANU-PF cannot deliver. Pamberi, apashikike.
Thank you. Pana amai vabvunza ndinofunga chinhu chakaipa kutitisa vanga vabvunza zvavo vamuchango kuti ko iyo mari inombowanikwa mumaspriti vanayo imomo vanoiwana kupi ndivanani vaitiza asi ndichaansa nepandinogona nyaya yekuti hakuna mari kumabhanga yakaunzwa nembavha mbiri Chinamasa namangudya ndo vakandopwanya mabhengi kumabhengi kunenonzi manostro accounts emabhengi ndo vakandopwanya iwani vapwanya mabhengi roba chaiwo vapwanya ndobva vaenda nayo yose ndokusiya mabhengi edu asingachashandi mukaenda kuna 4th Street une US dollars unondowana mabond kana kupiwa vanoti transfer matransfer yacho mukanyanyo kubvunza munotowana pane vamwe vanokudza hatisati tapiwa nhasi makuseri vanopiwa nani vanopiwa kureserve bank kureserve bank kune kambani yomwana wava Mnangagwa inonzi Spartan Investment ndiyo inomhanyisa mabhanga ndiyo inomhanyisa mabhegi inopiwa mabalance ayaya RTGS kana vachida information iyi hatiwani kumwe ine docket iri ku-anti-corruption commission nekumapurisa mwana wakabatwa navaMnangagwa votiza vachiinda waiva mwana wavo anonzi Tairai David Mnangagwa the chief secretary weSpartan Investment.
Hello? Yes. What Geras has just said, look, either I'm going to be given a chance to answer or I don't have to answer. You know, I've no particular obligation to come to a crowd which is unruly because I'm disciplined, I'm a soldier by nature. Yes. So if Violet, this is the nature of your audience, then I'm sorry we missed the chance for a decent debate. It's very important that we go to a debate of orderly people. That's precisely why, yes. the accusations, if indeed they've got any basis of fact, they are very grave. I do hope that the gentleman who has uttered those accusations and mentioned those names will get a chance, maybe will be offered a chance to defend them before the court of law. Because he has made allegations against the Minister of Finance. He has made allegations against the central banker. He has mentioned a specific, somebody's specific son, and he has also mentioned that man as who is the President of the Republic. These are very serious allegations.
Hello, okay, all right, Mr.
Yes. So
we hear you.
Yes.
Mr.
Then
what about the question that was asked by the lady?
that's what I'm getting to now. You know, it's not fiction that the economy of Zimbabwe has been in downslide for the past 20 years. And when an economy is in downslide, usually what it means is that your performance on the global stage is also affected. There are a whole raft of issues which pertain to the economy, and I'm a man of finance. That's what I learned in the Money Center in New York, and I've been all over the world. I also have the singular credit of reviving the most important industry which Zimbabwe has had since the land reform, the leaf tobacco industry. I know how it was done. I was at the Mineral Marketing Corporation. I was involved in the legalization of the gold trade. I haven't finished. Yes, I have to. The conditions which led to our economy into paralysis are precisely the issues which we addressed by removing the G40. What President Mnangagwa is doing about this economy has resonated with Wall Street, it has resonated with the City of London, it has resonated with Tokyo, it has resonated with the Milan Bush, it has resonated with Riyadh sovereign funds. He is going to deliver a modern economy. If you don't believe in it, it's your problem. But chitima cha Mnangagwa chiri kuenda chako chichasara chakapaka. Thank you.
We only have 5 minutes left, so we only have time for the gentleman who's right behind you with the microphone. You are we have to be out of this room at exactly 8 o'clock. So these are not my rules. We're going to have more of these discussions. So let's let the gentleman be our water reality. And then after that, we'll just ask the parties to give us a final word.
Right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I guess you're saying this for last. Right. Generally, 15% of Zimbabweans population are people with disabilities. So my question was generally to all political parties. Do you have a quota for people with disabilities within your ranks and leadership ranks? And secondly, what are you going to do to address people with disabilities concerns once voted into power?
And mine is not a question as such, but it's a contribution. To say, I think next time when you are having such type of discussions, I think you should have someone who can interpret sign language. Why? Because a friend of mine was here, but because there's no one to interpret, he had to go back home. So I think as people with disability, we feel discriminated.
We apologize for that, and we will definitely do that next time. Thank you for that contribution. So, in your closing remarks, can you also respond to that question about people with disability? Let's start from JLC and thank you. 1 minute, please, because we run out of time.
Okay, thank you. Before I would want to address the allegation that I read. These are not my allegations. They are contained in a docket that I did not create. It was created by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, and it was forwarded to the police. So, please, If you want any detail, go to Zach. If you think I'm breaking the law, I'm here available. I'm not afraid of you. I have a copy of the document. Thank you very much. I think we are in the process of making our manifesto, and I think that contribution about people with disabilities is very instructive. We are going to put that into consideration. But let me just say, as NPF, we are there to return the country to constitutionalism. We are also.
Let them finish, please.
We are also going to ensure that this country is open for business to Zimbabweans. We understand that this government is borrowed to the tune of 11 billion domestically. We owe 11 billion to domestic lenders and only 5 billion to external funders. So we are saying our people have demonstrated that there is capacity to lend money to this government, and therefore by extension have capacity to participate in this economy. We will open it to Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me start with the question of people with disabilities. In the MDC, we have what is called a disability council. It is headed by a Mr. Dennis Mnangagwa, who is visually handicapped. And this disability council deals with the disability issues. We now have a disability quota. We didn't prescribe the number because we did not know exactly how many they were in the structures. Number two, we also, in our candidate selection program, we do charge an application fee so that we are able to print the ballot papers for primary elections. People living with disabilities are exempted from that fee. So we are trying our best to make sure that these people are catered for. And from the statistics that we had from Mr. Mnangagwa, about 2 million people have a disability. And some of the disability manifests itself even in able-bodied people, because disability is not only physical, it can be mental as well. As Zimbabweans, we must be serious. As Zimbabwean political parties, I didn't fear anyone here. As Zimbabweans, we have a positive duty to make sure that we deliver our people from poverty and misery. Our people are wallowing in poverty, they are wallowing in misery. They want us leaders to be serious in addressing their grievances, in addressing their fate. In the last 10 seconds, I just want to say, you can never entrust people who generated the problem with the duty to resolve that problem. Mugabe was not acting alone from 1980. He was acting with the current president and the current people who are in this government. He was the figurehead and they have remained. So Mugabe, the man, is gone. But Mugabe, the system is intact. It is this system that we are going to, this is the system we are going to annihilate and disintegrate come July 2018.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Responding to the issue of disability, yes, we have a portfolio dealing with that. We have a person responsible in the study committee dealing with issues of disability. In our structures, throughout the whole country, we have leaders at the constituency level and provincial level who are also living with disabilities. So I think we are trying our best to cater for people with disabilities. As Rainbow Coalition, we believe that we have got answers to deal with the current problem in Zimbabwe. But our main focus is on elections. Elections are one at the polling station, they are one at the ward level, and we have to deal with that. 1,958 wards and more than 10,000 polling stations. And that's where the answers are. And that's where our eye, effort, and focus should be. Thank you.
Thank you.
First, I want to concur completely with the last statement that the issues are well decided at the polling stations, and that's where ZimdiTv is focused on. And you shall see with the result, not all this other noise which we hear about, polling stations. Number two, I am very touched by the question of disabilities. It is a constituency which troubles me, because the biggest contribution to disability in Zimbabwe was the war, and most of those victims are war veterans. Even extending to the mental disability, we went through a difficult period, and somebody just wants to be disdainful about it like this gentleman. I'm sorry about it, but I'm talking about people who really suffer 37 years into independence, from the wounds of the war, from the napalm which was rained upon them, from grenades which exploded in their feet when they tried to cross the border.
Sorry, can you let me finish, please?
So, that question is very pertinent. I empathize completely with it. And one of the difficulties I had with Mugabe was his scornful attitude towards the people who suffered so much for the independence of this country, for which he eventually became the leader and took in a pedestrian manner. That is very sad on his rule, and we took care of that in November when we moved to him.
10 seconds.
No, everybody's been talking for 8 months. The other issue I'm going to, he says that I feel, we can raise money locally. You cannot build a power station on local capital, a model power. You cannot build infrastructure on local capital. That was when Mugabe failed completely. We need to go to the capital markets of the world to get money to this country. That's how roads built this country in the original instance. And Mnangagwa is the president. He has reached out to that constituency. You cannot be scornful to a constituency which will give you the infrastructure which will change your life. So we are focused on ease of doing business, and we are going to make sure that Zimbabwe is the optimal destination of foreign direct investment on the global stage. If you don't believe it, you are going to see the results. And that's why people vote for ZimdiTv, because it delivers the results, including the November one.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I respond to the question, I just want to say to Mr. Mnangagwa, you said the issue of people with disability really touches your heart, and I thought that it is only proper for me to raise this issue, that there are still people living with disability who are living in the streets. There are still people living with disability who are evicted in Mazoe Street there, and are still staying outside, who have been helping with tents and food stuff. We have not seen you there actually assisting them, yet some of you have got 4,000 stands. And the Minister of Social Welfare and the audacity to come there and try to buy them off with $500 and actually try to take them far away from the place where they were staying. So if you are really empathetic, since you've got the government which is running this country, I am kindly requesting you to ensure that those 4 men who are still staying in the streets are actually housed as soon as possible. Thank you. And
excuse me, please, can you let her finish?
In response to the question about people with disability, and the MDC team led by Dr. Kube, we are very holistic, we are inclusive, and we are going to ensure that 15% of all seats will be allocated to people with disability. If you have been looking for an opportunity elsewhere and didn't get it, this is the place where to come, because we actually believe that we have to tolerate each other. Inability doesn't mean disability, and we are willing to work with all people who are living with disability to ensure that we rebuild Zimbabwe together. Thank you.
Well, that question that has been asked by my brother is something that we should really seriously think about. We, as the Build Zimbabwe Alliance, we are a new political organization, as you know, but what we have actually committed ourselves to do is to protect and promote the constitutional rights of every single Zimbabwean. Because if you read our constitution, you'll actually see that there is a lot that it talks about when it comes to disabilities, but implementing some of the things that are in our constitution has not been done. So we are committed to make sure that we reflect what is in our constitution as well in terms of providing for the disabled community. Let me just say this in terms of my message to the Zimbabwean people. I think for a long time, and I think Dr. Makoni spoke about that, we have been afraid. Even there are some people who are in here, and some of them are standing in this side of the room, who are even sending some threatening messages to my phone. We are not afraid of you. We are not afraid. The CIO is actually a state organization. If you go into our constitution, it's a crime for people from the CIO to threaten people on partisan grounds. And it doesn't matter who you target. You can target an individual who is up here. These things are going to come and haunt you one day. You are not going to get away with it. It's rubbish when Zimbabweans gather together to put our heads together to talk about solving the problems of our country for people try to intimidate anyone. 90% unemployment will still be there even if you are CIO and you actually try to threaten people not to say it. People are suffering. In 1980, a person who was born in 1980 is 37 years old today. And some of those people have never had jobs, have never owned cars, have never had the luxury to actually live in the Sheraton Hotel, which we now know to house a lot of CIO people. We know that. They don't have that luxury. So we're not afraid of you. You can threaten, you can say whatever you want. We will take our Zimbabwe back.
Thank you, Noah. We need to constantly...
Hello, can you let him finish, please? Thank you.
We need to constantly remind ourselves that we will not succumb to the instrument of intimidation and fear. For those of you who were not born then and who are too young to have experienced Rhodesia, it was the same tool that the Rhodesians used to subjugate black Zimbabweans, and we did not succumb to it. But it's a tool that requires courage and strength. And it's a tool that we need to confront directly. Secondly, many problems in the world, including our problems here, are caused by intolerance. And I plead with us, particularly the younger among us, that tolerance nourishes democracy. Tolerance feeds diversity. The experience where we will not allow someone to express themselves because we do not agree with what they are saying doesn't build the Zimbabwe that we deserve. On the point of disability, representing the Coalition of Democrats, first to affirm that this is a matter that we are fully seized with. In the structures of code, we have a steering committee on disability and social services that leads us in generating ideas. In our manifesto, we are affirming the need to empower all citizens, including youths, women, and people with disabilities. We haven't drilled down a program with numbers, but at a strategic policy level, I want to assure you that this is a matter that bears on the fundamentals of equity, balance, and full participation and engagement that anchors the code value proposition and the code offering to the people of Zimbabwe. Again, I conclude, please, we cannot be clones that are identical and agree on everything. what enriches our country, our democracy, and our development is tolerance and acceptance of different views. To Chris, as a footnote, yes, we don't have the capital that resides in Wall Street and London and Tokyo, but the first capital that will develop this country are the Zimbabwean people. Not Wall Street's money, not cement, iron and steel from China and Japan, but the technical and the commitment, the patriotism and the commitment to get ourselves up. And I remind you, you know this very well, the slogan of the liberation movement was, "We are our own liberators with the help of our friends."
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think that is a very good point to end on. And I just wanted to add to what Dr. Makoni said on the issue of peace and tolerance. This is very important. I think you all saw in 2008, you know, what happened with the bloody elections, only to see these same leaders sitting in the same government, drinking tea and eating and enjoying themselves while the supporters and participants were busy fighting and killing each other. It's not worth it. This is just politics. We are still human beings at the end of the day, and we should learn to accept that we are different and we come from different political parties. So on that note, I just wanted to thank our panelists. Thank you very much for this insightful debate, and I hope that we'll be able to have more of these as we go towards elections. And thank you all for coming.
Your views and comments are welcome on the program. Remember to like our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and be the first to see as it happens. Watching TV on the go. Sly Media TV. Building bridges.
Hello viewers, my name is Doc Vikela and you're watching Sly Media TV. This is 2018, the year for the harmonized general elections in Zimbabwe. The year the excitement is shooting over the roof. This political party saying we've got it in the bag. This political party saying we will have the majority. At Sly Media TV, we bring you a program that takes a journey. It takes a journey into who is representing who. Which constituency is he representing? Is he the right candidate? What does he have to offer? Hashtag the candidate 2018 will be interviewing your candidates from your different constituencies, be it senators, councillors, MPs, even the presidential candidates, and we hear their manifestos, we hear their promises. The good part is, as they promise, you will be able to interface with them. You'll be able to send your messages. You can even send us questions to ask them, what is it that is burning in your heart? If you are an aspiring candidate also, you might feel we'll leave you out or you feel left out. If you feel you have a manifesto to sell, you can contact us on the details on the bottom of our screen. Sly Media TV, building bridges.